It's now time for the brain.
Brain.
Red, the brain, Feinberg.
Well, good morning, brain. This is the Daily
Good morning,
Grind.
my friend. How are you?
Good. This is the great Brad Feinberg, my dear friend. Now, brain, let me ask you before we get into business at hand. Your son Carson is our intern. We found out last week that he was shopping on Rodeo Drive for his Versace robe. Today, he came in complaining that he had blisters on his hands. And I'm thinking to myself, what did you do? Did you do some hard work? Did you unload an aircraft? Did you, I don't know, do something manual? And he said, no, he got blisters from his golf lessons.
Yeah. Let me tell you something funny. I used to, when I was his age, I was working on the trucks, unloading
I know
trucks
you were.
in my warehouse, and I used to come out of there with soot.
Right.
When I would sneeze, this black stuff would come out of my nose that I've never seen before. I didn't know it was possible to have this stuff I had coming out of me. And I did that, man. I was like, there were like 9-hour days, and it would be 100 degrees on those trucks. And I did, but yeah, that versus golf lessons.
Yeah, I have your permission to torture him, right?
Oh, done and done.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Yeah. Just so we're clear. Just so Carson and I are clear.
He's poking at you a little bit, Carson.
Yeah, he came back at me today. And he did it like 3 seconds before I was going to go on the air. Because I already told him that I have carte blanche from your father
100% carte blanche
to give you tough love. All right?
He gave you the old, I'd like to see you try.
Yeah. I was going to hang him outside the window. All right? We're 7 floors up, right by his ankles. We were going to do that, Dad. We'll have him. Don't worry. It's tough love. We love him.
I trust you, man.
You're
not going to go Michael Jackson on him, are you?
No, man. Come on. No, I love the
Michael
kid.
Jackson. Do you remember that? No, but do you remember Michael Jackson did that to the kid? He put the kid over the thing. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
No, what are you doing?
Blanket? Blanket was the kid I think he hung over the balcony.
Yeah.
Oh,
he put the kid over the balcony. Like, no joke. I'm like, what?
Oh, no. We're joking about it. But first of all, anything with Michael Jackson, I don't even want to go there. So, anyway, let's forget all that. Let's discuss tonight's Game 7.
Yeah.
And how about it? The Oil Kings do it again.
It's amazing, Anthony. I know, look, these things, hockey, Anthony, and I think you would agree, is just a different sport. It really is. It's not, to me, like basketball. It's not like football. It's just different. Where I feel like we talked about it, it's a hard sport to handicap. It's difficult, and I know from speaking to you before, you're like, okay, you think Edmonton probably has this figured out, and they're going to do it. And you're right. I always talk about being consistent versus being right. But here's the thing I will say. The game price has gone down dramatically from what these other games in Florida were. Now, you probably say deservedly so. But what I'm still just thinking to myself, this is a Florida team that's not a one-trick pony in the sense that this is not their first rodeo, so to speak. While they haven't won a cup, they were here last year. So they have gone through the gauntlet, right? They really have. So I don't think it's going to be a situation where they're just like, oh my God, they've gone through this 2 years in a row, and they're basically Game 7. I still think, and I don't know, because it's a pick'em kind of price, I'm going to lean Florida. I'm not betting it. Let me make this clear. Giving it out to my clients, not going to give it out in your show, but you want my opinion. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. But I know, Anthony, I talk about these low scores. If you want the under, I'd bet under in the first period, under 1.5 on Parks, as opposed to the game line. And Anthony, you know why. You can fill in the blank. Why would I not want the under in the game?
Well, because we talk about this, the empty nets that happen at the end of the game. If you're down 2-1, they're going to pull the goalie with 5 minutes to go, and the next thing you know, they're going to pour in empty netters. We talked about that a while. Listen, I get your point. Like, listen, Florida has been there. I'm obviously I'm rooting Edmonton just for GP, because I don't think
So much.
Florida deserves a cup, but
They're the same way.
like the fans deserve a cup. But I get your point. It would not surprise me, and you're getting a decent price, at home, for what it's worth.
Yeah, something like that. So again, the only way I can look personally in terms of betting it would be the Florida side. But listen, again, like before, I thought Edmonton was the right side based on they were getting such a nice price, but now the price is basically a pick 'em. So Edmonton's no longer getting that price. If I was getting plus $1.25 on Edmonton, I'm on Edmonton. For me, this is honestly, Anthony, my honest opinion, I think they play this game 100 times. Let's call it 52-48 Florida. I think it's really tight. I think it's going to be a close game. I really do.
Brad, can I ask you the line? Florida came out like minus 125, minus 126. They're down to minus 114. Do you give any credence to that? Does that make you go one side or the other?
No, because listen, I get it, right? Like, first of all, again, like right now, the easy thing to do, let's just be, and again, I'm not criticizing anyone for doing it. The easy thing to do is say, I like Edmonton. They've won 3 in a row. They have the marquee players in the series. Florida's looked, like, the last 3 games. Right now, Edmonton's the comfort food, right? They're eating the piece of pizza. They're the cheeseburger. It's just easy to do. The hard thing right now to do is to bet a Florida team that's got their butts kicked 3 in a row, that doesn't have, the frontline talent like that. Obviously, guys like McDavid and Draisaitl are. So, no, I thought people would be on the Edmonton side. But again, I get why they're saying that. But no, from a betting perspective, the fact it's gone down 10 cents, no. Again, for me, I think this game is going to be a very close game. I think it'll be a 1-goal, lower scoring game. But as I said, I would rather take under 1.5 in the first period. Game 7s, guys, in hockey always tend to be much more lower scoring. So, again, I lean under, but again, I like the first period under just because I don't want to deal with the shenanigans at the end of the game.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, that makes sense. And listen, I don't think you can handicap the game. Like, quite frankly, Game 7 is you're flipping coins, man.
You're flipping coins. That's exactly right, Anthony. Anthony, you just said it. Honestly, listen, if you want to bet the thing and have fun and enjoy yourself with your buddies and park site and bet the game, absolutely, by all means, do it. But am I going to tell you there's an edge in this Game 7 where if you were betting this every single day for the rest of your life, you'd be able to, be making a nice living doing this? No. I'm going to be honest. That's an efficient, correct line. I don't think there's really any edge betting it either way other than just for personal enjoyment if you want to do it.
Yeah. I feel you. And that's why it's a lesson because VG brings up the line and the movement of the line. And quite frankly, I don't believe in that. I don't know if you do. I don't believe in the line move. Everybody's steaming the Giants this week. And I don't believe in that stuff. Or the other one, which is all the public money is on the Giants. Right. And the line hasn't moved against the Ravens. Where the money goes is irrelevant. I just think it's about handicapping the game.
Yeah, getting it right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Anthony. Getting it right.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, any baseball, brother?
Yeah, Anthony, listen, I got a couple things today. I'm going to start off with Lance Lynn. Okay, Lance Lynn. Anthony, it's funny. We talked about Bobby Jones and Joe Blanton last week, right? To me, Lance Lynn has hit the Bobby Jones, Joe Blanton stage of his career, where he's had a good career, a very nice career. But at this point, I think he's more of an innings eater. Well, not even innings eater. I shouldn't even say innings eater because I'm betting under his house.
He's an eater.
But more of just a guy who goes, just an eater. Yeah, like me. He's become like me. He's just an eater. But anyway, Lance Lynn, he's gone under 17.5 outs, 12 of 15 games. Okay, and his highest he's gotten is 18 all year. Look, the Braves are not the same lineup they were, Anthony, last year without, I get it, Acuna. But it's still a good lineup. You can't tell me it's not a good lineup. Lynn, to me, is not, again, I think he's a very hittable, below average pitcher at this point. I don't think he gets 6 innings here. I think he gets between 4 and 5 2/3. I like Lance Lynn, minus 127 on the park site, under 17.5 outs. I like Cole Ragans, over 6.5 strikeouts versus very average Marlins team, Anthony. Ragans has gone over this 10 of 16 times.
I'll tell you one thing. That Kansas City team is going to be good. They got some good young pitching, man. Like, we know about Bobby Witt and Perez and Pasquantino and Garcia. They have good bats, but their pitching is underrated. Like, they have some good young arms.
Well, it's interesting. They made a couple free agent signings, which really helped their team. Like look in the ERA leaders. You're going to see Seth Ligo at the top of the board. And they got him from the Padres, and they got Michael Walker. They got two solid guys that have pitched really well and helped them. And obviously Reagan's, to me, is their number one guy, and obviously Brady Singer, young guys, pitch well. But Reagan's over 6.5 Ks, Anthony. I would have made it 7.5 against the Marlins. I think he'll get enough innings pitched, and I like them minus 1.5 in the game. The Marlins, again, the worst team in baseball. Well, them or the White Sox. Munoz is a very below-average pitcher. Again, when I'm laying a 1.5 like I did the other day with the Phillies against the Diamondbacks, I have to do two things. I have to trust my pitcher to allow 2 or less runs. I trust Reagan's will do that. And I have to feel like my team will score 6+. I think they can do this against a very below-average Marlins pitching staff. I like KC minus 1.5 as my third bet of the day.
I love it. I love it. At Brad'sBestBets.com. At Brad's Best Bets on Twitter. He is awesome. Brother, we love you. Great stuff, buddy. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the grind.
Tough love. Give us tough love.
Tough love for the kid. I like it. You got it, buddy. All right, see, pal. There he is, the brain.
We all silly like the mayor.